Hello, YouTubers. Welcome to my channel. Please like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification button. I hope that you're all well blessed, highly favored. Remember to only take what resonates and leave the rest. I hope that you're all well blessed. Thank you for all the likes, share, subscribes. Anything you need from me is in the description box. Um, you should always have a pen and a paper. There will be messages, download signs and synchronicities, puzzle pieces you will need to write down, things you will need to be put together, mysteries unfolded, okay, wisdom and knowledge given. Father God, Holy Spirit, angels, ancestors, I ask that you come and protect me from the north, south, east, and west in every realm and dimension. Father God, from all low vibing dark demonic energies and entities, all karmic masculines and feminines worldwide, in every realm and dimensions, from the north, south, east, and west, near and far, and in between. I ask that you give me clear and precise messages. I thank you for allowing me to be a messenger of light. I ask that you put a white velvet over protection around my crown chakra, my third eye, my throat chakra, my heart chakra, my solar, my sacral, my root chakra, all the way down to my feet, embedded into Mother Gaia, as big as the earth, as far as the universe. So let's get started. We're going to talk about downloads, okay? We're going to talk about download signs and synchronicities, okay? All right. So somebody's name could be Richard and somebody's name could be Wilson. Somebody's first name could be Richard. Somebody's first name could be Wilson. Somebody's last name could be Richards. Somebody's last name could be Wilson. Richards. I have a cousin named Wilson. The guy that molested me at Boys Town's last name is Wilson. My cousin's name is Richard. I have a cousin named Wilson, like I said. Something about my baby daddy, one of his women or baby mamas, I believe her last name is Richards. It says 1019. So somebody's birthday could be 1019. Somebody could be, what is that, a Scorpio or Libra? 524. Somebody's birthday could be May 24th. Somebody's name could be Jonathan, first or middle name. Somebody's name could be Phantom. I'm seeing Phantom. So something about the unknown Jonathan, that's an unknown from Bucktown, Chicago, right? And something about Phantom, and he's an unknown from Bucktown, okay? That's what I'm seeing. Something about UIC, the University of Illinois Hospital. Something that happened there. Something that they were involved in. Something about the time. Something about 5/24/2000. Something that happened in 5/24 in the year 2000. Something that happened at approximately 9:46 a.m. Somebody's name is Dick. Some type of meeting that went on. Somebody's name could be Akin, Fanton. Something about the date, September 7th, 2000. Somebody's birthday could be November 7th. November 7th, September 7th. Maybe somebody's birthday is November 7th, but 2000. Something about some type of trend. Something about big foundation leaders. Something about a big bulk of money, dollars. Somebody's name could be Hannah or Anna or Ann. Somebody's last name could be Gray. Something about Michael Gray from LaGrange Park, Illinois. Somebody's name could be Hannah, like I said, Hannah Gray. Some type of connection here. Something about, I told you, the University of Chicago, UIC. Something about science, bioinformatics. Somebody's last name could be Skulton. Somebody's last name could be Skulton. Some type of funding for Africa. Somebody's name could be Earl. Somebody's last name could be Kellogg. Somebody's first name could be Paul. Somebody's last name could be Zeleza. Zeleza. Somebody's last name is Atkins. Something about the Ford Foundation. Something about ties. Funding. Something about September. Something about the last name Fanton and Atkin. Something about the year February 13th, 2000. Something about the number 233901. Something about something being confidential pertaining to entities. Some type of confidentiality pertaining to some type of entities and activities with these entities. Something about April 2nd, 2000 or 2004, 2000. Somebody's last name could be Spencer. Di Stefano. Somebody's name could be Di Stefano. Somebody's last name could be Anderson. Somebody's last name could be Spencer. Something about historical gifts. Somebody's last name is Williams. I told you. Suggested. Something about a new era. Something about fellowships. Submitting and planning of any type of grants and proposals for July 15th. Something about July 15th being a deadline. Something about Williams. Something about the last name Williams. Somebody promised to get something done. Something about the February 11, 2000. July 15th. Something about strong relationships. Something about somebody named John or last name Williams. Something about somebody's name, first name Lauren, last name Young. Peggy Young. Something about an African girl named Lauren from LaGrange Park, Illinois. Something about the Bureau. The Federal Bureau is going to be doing some type of annual report on any type of giving of big foundations of money. The Marshalls are coming for someone. Somebody's last name could be Marshall. Somebody's first name could be Marsha. Schillinger. Somebody's last name is Skylinger. It says somebody's going to get approved. February 7, 2000. Somebody's going to get approved for something. Something's going to be moving ahead because they like your concept. Somebody's name is Lori. Somebody's birthday is October 9th. Something about 10:09 a.m. Something about May 24th, 2000. Somebody wants to meet with somebody, or somebody met with somebody. Some type of meetup about a project. Something about somebody's last names could be Gates. The Gates Foundation, the Ford Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation, the Carnegie Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation. All has to do about something about all these foundations, these last names funding Africa. Something about somebody's last name, MacArthur. Your last name could be MacArthur. MacArthur. Your first name could be Mac. Your first name could be Arthur. I have an uncle named Mac on my mother's side, and I have a cousin named Arthur on my father's side. But something about MacArthur from past or present. The MacArthur, the play. Something about more grants being made and more grants being needed and given. Something about global security and sustainability, right? We spoke about this earlier today in my reading about Pakistan. So there needs to be more global security and sustainability. Public interest, because the public, okay, this has to do with the public. Something about the media. About diversity, the diversity of different voices, viewpoints in films, so in movies, in television, in radio. Something about independent filmmakers or video makers in the United States, and also in Latin America, or with Latins in America. There will be grants for more documentary work, series. Something about somebody with the name John D. John D. Catherine T. Something about world affairs. Something about the USA audiences and how it affects global security and sustainability pertaining to TV, right? Something about national boundaries and somebody being withdrawn, like withdrawn. Something about society going more often unsteadily toward democracy. Something about non-state actors. Something about population increases and new levels of migration, uneven economic growth, detrimental to human development and the environment, increasingly violent political competition within and among countries, threats of societies, environmental degradation of poverty, war, and abuse of human rights have a long history and will be dealt with here in the future. Something about globalization, the rapid spread of technologies, people, money. Information in ways that do not conform to previous political culture, ecological boundaries. Like how to intervene in civil conflicts, how to manage transboundary resources, how to protect human rights, the standards that differ between countries and cultures. Three specific global issues that they want us to be looking at: arms reduction, security policy, ecosystems, conservation and policy and population, global security and sustainability, integrative areas, emphasizes the importance of changing global context and new challenges. The state of understanding the concept of security and sustainability, the need for new partnerships and institutions to address global problems, and the education of public about the United States' interests and responsibilities regarding to global issues. To cope with unprecedented transactional flows of capital, people's goods, environmental resources, ideas, images, today's society must invent and adapt political structures, social norms, and institutional arrangements. Requires the best possible understanding of concepts pertaining to any security or sustainability in this world. To understand more broadly than in the recent past. So we need to understand it more now than we have in the past. Security of groups and individuals in society, to international systems, and to be shared globally in the environment. Security is not only a matter of military defense, but also of searching for conditions for peace, including sustainable development, equity, and protection of human rights, both globally and locally. Changing nature of the interaction between humans and environments, not only with responsible management, but considering the needs of future generations to come, but also understanding of the interplay of human and natural systems under conditions, uncertainty. Involves strengthening the interface between science and policy. Achieving security and sustainability can be met in part through action by governments, existing local organizations, but new partnerships, institutions are also needed. And this is the second integrative area in which the program provides support. Something about civil society groups, business enterprises, local governments are developing new and promising approaches for dealing with conflict, environmental problems, and population growth. Many involve the development of new relationships. That's why they're taking out a lot of people, because they're worried about the overpopulation. Any corporation between state and non-state actors. The further study of experimentation and concerted action are needed. The United States will be especially influential in efforts to manage global problems, particularly in creating and sustaining new institutions and partnerships. It is to play the most constructive role possible. Its leadership and citizens must understand the United States' interests and responsibilities in the new global context. This is the third integrative area in which the program provides support. I'm also seeing the third eye is open at this time. Through support for work, hopes to help broadly shared challenges for global society here, past, present, or future. So, three main things that they want us to be looking at right now is security for environment and population, and any concerns for the long term, for the long haul. A public debate on international action to reduce arraignments worldwide. Something a lot to do with security policies and practices that have to be redid and worked on. There's going to be an analyst of the military of the United States and the military defense and security issues, past, present, or future, and also existing proposed weapon systems, the budget, implications, causes and consequences of proliferation, funds, some type of investigation into projects with nuclear, chemical, and biological arms control, weapons, defense systems, encourages international collaboration on policy, dissemination of projects. Something about networks of specialist scientists and other policy experts to explore solutions to global problems of arms proliferation. Grants are awarded. Reducing the level of arms that help to inform specialists from countries where technical knowledge of nuclear or weapons issues is relatively scarce. Something about nuclear weapons in other countries. The bias. Something about trade. Supporting projects, networks. Strengthening the international community of independent analysts pertaining to weapons, mass destruction, conventional weapons. Something about the name MacArthur Joyce. Renewable natural resources, ecosystems, biodiversity threatened, sustainable to resources. Something about us needing strategies. Something about a small number of tropical biogeographic zones in Asia, Latin America, and Africa. These zones are chosen for their richness specifies diversity because of a unique, there's some type of unique species around there in Asia, Latin America, and Africa, and the level of threat within each zone. Something about the ecosystems, tropical areas in the United States. Something about scientists, industrial, geographic zones, heavy on Africa, heavy on Africa. Something about the enforcement of national laws. Something about encouraging conversation about these topics. Strengthening conversations, organizations. Making sure that you're making geographic zones and linking conversations of forestry, fisheries, agriculture systems, nature, tourism, exploitation of non-timber forest products, and sustainable economic activities. Making sure that you're making this a priority, God says. Something you need to be paying more attention to the population and the purpose. And making sure you're paying attention to improving women's reproductive health, promoting responsibility between men and women for their sexual behavior, their childbearing and child rearing, population, because they're worried about the population. It's overpopulated here on this planet. In many countries too, not just one. Paying attention to gender relationships. At, something about advocacy, leadership, strategies, international collaborations worldwide. Something about international agreements, population, women's rights. Something about more activities with countries, with one another. Support for population. Something about Brazil, India, Mexico, and Nigeria. These are 4 countries that you need to be paying attention to. Something about non-governmental organizations and leadership, individuals with extraordinary potential. Something to do again with Brazil, India, Mexico, and Nigeria. Something about reproductive health. Something about cooperative partnerships with governments, with business. Empowerment of women, male responsibility for sexual behavior and reproductive decisions. Something about the southern countries that are developing new ways of dealing with adolescence and health and sexuality. So, something about young people and their sexual behavior and their sexuality preferences. Something about the dimensions, how it affects the world globally. At this time, humanity needs to foster new knowledge and insight of global security. There's something that we need to be worried about globally, as pertaining to security. Period. Yeah, because there's a risk of violent conflict that could be coming our way. Something about economic opportunity and resources, abuse of human rights, irreversible damage to the ecosystems. Something, yeah, again, violent conflict. Something that has to do with gender identity, human rights, the ecosystem, economic things. There's some type of investigation, or somebody's investigating something that could have something to do with something coming up here. That's why you need to be paying attention to security here. Arrangements are being made. Local, regional, global institutions. Something about a writing competition. Something about countries transitioning because of so many problems in these countries. Something about national disciplinary. Lessons being learned globally in countries, across countries and regions. There's many lessons that are being learned or going to be learned. Focusing on demographic change, a demand for environmental dynamics in the coastal and marine areas. Supporting education more. Transitioning into a more sustainable societies in this world. This will all depend on our cultivation of new generations, the methods that we take, how we focus on complexity of global problems, how we fellowship with the international people, with the international countries, how we discipline ourselves. There's definitely issues with human security, sustainability, governance, globalization. How we teach the world globally. Something about government officials internationally, something with public law. economics, management. You guys are going to be negotiating things globally, internationally, or you could be, especially in the southern states, countries. Bringing together analysts, policymakers, practitioners. Some of these a lot of these government people, they like to use practitioners. They pay for practitioners, man, especially in other countries. So this is how they find out things. Whoever's been using practitioners, something's going to be finished, and this is going to be made for the whole public to know about. Something about government official, policymakers, practitioners. The public's going to find out about this. Something about strengthening civil society. Something about somebody, a foster person. You could be a foster child or to be in a foster home, past or present. Something about formation of new alliances amongst business firms, community groups, government agencies to help with global problems for many years, several years. Something about Mexico and Africa and civil society, public and private institutions. More opportunities for these countries, Mexico and Africa. So for Mexico and Africa, there will be more opportunities, more incentives for these countries. But they're also saying that Mexico and Africa have an issue with a lot of corruption going on in those countries. They need to be taking accountability for their actions. The world needs to be figuring out how to bring prevention to Mexico and Africa, because it's too much bad coming from those two countries together. Promoting human rights. People that abuse human rights are accountable, God said. Whoever's been abusing human rights, you're accountable, God said, for your crimes. Economically, socially, and cultural rights, and women's rights. If you've been abusing any of those, you're accountable for that. The United States needs to be to also deal with their responsibilities at this time. Especially pertaining to economic and security and the democratic and humanitarian values. That's what they want you to look at. You need to start working on strategies pertaining to the public, policies, America, because things are changing quickly, rapidly, pertaining to global. There's a diverse perspective, including those that are from the outside of the United States and other countries. A reduction of arms. That means a reduction of guns. Something about the ecosystems. the conservation, natives, lands, human rights, women's rights, reproductive health, foster homes, foster children, public discussion, networking, foreign policy between the United States and international countries. Because there's threats to the human welfare for all nations. These problems by the United States will be crucial to the success of such effort. Something about has to do with the United States and global affairs across many sectors, geographic regions, giving attention to groups outside of the traditional foreign policy. Global trends have impacted the lives of all Americans. Encouraging new strategies at this time to carry out America's global responsibilities. Something about your talents. You could have a lot of talents. Somebody that's listening. The rest of the world needs to see your talents. You could have a performance coming up soon, or you will. You're going to be assisted. Humanity, we need to keep the peace. Many businesses will be advancing something about investments. Something about actors and world affairs. Something about movie actors, world affairs. Something about global citizenship. Something about leaders and investors in the governments cooperating with each other to solve problems worldwide, especially in geographic regions. Something about the Soviet Union. Mexico again. Africa again. Soviet Union. Something about practitioners again. Strategies. Soviet Union. Armenia. Something about Armenia. Azerbaijan. Belarus. Estonia. Georgia. Kazakhstan. Kyrgyzstan. Latvia. Louisiana, Moldova, Russia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Ukraine, and Uzbekistan, something like that one. These are other countries they're talking about. I can't pronounce it. I don't know how to say it correctly. advancing issues of law and society in those places, having a public understanding of these topics, protecting citizens' rights, social welfare, public interests, promoting human rights worldwide, protecting civil liberties, economic and social rights, the rights of women and minorities, and women's reproductive rights, supporting the equal participation in society of women and minorities, something about religion, something about religion, ethnicity, migration, economic development, arms control, disarmament of weapons, proliferation of religion conflict. Something about religion conflict. Mm-hmm. Something about the name Mitchell, Wallerstein, Carmen, Barrasso, Kenneth, Benedict, Dan. Somebody's name is Dan. Somebody's name is Martin. Somebody's name is Michael. Somebody's last name is Jenkins. Somebody's name is Mary. Somebody's name is Page. First, last name, middle name. Something about Chicago, Palm Beach County, Florida. Population, ecosystems, security, partnerships, institutions, responsibilities, promoting excellence and diversity in the media. Somebody's name could be Gary, Eden. Something about the Eden Highway, Gary, Indiana. Somebody's name could be Gary, the Eden. Something about Adam and Eve. Something about the Company Express. Something about Kendrick Lamar. Something about somebody being fresh. Something's fresh in your mind. Something's going to help you move forward. You're making key points about something that's true. Somebody's name is George. Somebody's going to make a proposal to you. Somebody's going to recommend you. Somebody's trying to merge people, places, or things together. Somebody's name is Jacob. Somebody could have been delaying something and they're sorry. They're going to be telling you they're sorry about some type of delay because they've been busy. That's going to be their excuse or whatever. Yeah, but the linkage, they're going to want to link up now. There's a PI, a private detector, watching something or someone, a person, place, or thing. There are people arguing about anything I have talked about or anything pertaining to you. About some type of connection between a person, place, or thing. There will be a strong proposal coming through. Combine the two. So there will be a joining of two people, places, or things. Something about an instrument. Some of you could play instruments nicely. Something about somebody's niece. Something about microscopic. Something about psi energy. Neurological studies. Something about your mind. The crown chakra, the third eye. Something about September 5th, 2013. Something about the United Way needing more volunteers. Something about stewardship. Deadlines being met. Something about solicitation calls. Something about Katrina. Somebody's name is Rebecca. Somebody lives in Arlington Heights or Arlington. Something about Fort Worth, Texas. Something about somebody named Carrie. Orleans. Something about Carrie and New Orleans. Somebody's name is Elizabeth, Jessica. Somebody could be leaving. Somebody's name could be Ed. Ed, Eddie, Edward, Egypt. Something about Egypt. Somebody could be leaving, trying to get away. Somebody's name is Carolyn. Somebody's last name is Cross. Something about someone needing to get a portfolio together. Something about October. Something about the last name Parker and October. Pinto, Palo. Somebody else's name could be Pinto. My dog's name was Pinto. Something about October 11th. September 20th. October 4th. Something about avoiding duplications of things. How to deal with small or mid-sized disaster. Starting training more people to be able to deal with disasters. Somebody may need sheltering. They may need to be sheltered. Feeding humanity, the services for humanity. Something about reading signs and symbols of Egyptians from the beginning of time. Signs and symbols. Something about 2014. Being more flexible. Somebody's gonna, when you get somewhere, they're gonna be like you're just in time. Something about more people volunteering for emergency disasters, handing out food in communities more, volunteering more. Something about somebody knowing about some information from laptops. They could be looking into your laptops. Helping victims in disasters. Training more people on the spot. Offering specialized courses for Red Cross, for the volunteers. Aligning yourself with unique skills, whatever you're good at. I keep noticing they're doing a lot of evil eye on the TV, like looking in my eyes. There could be things on the planet that are becoming very problematic, God says, on a large scale. So we're going to be needing a lot more people to be getting themselves together and being a help. Moving forward in technology at this time. Something about March 1st, 2012, June 29th, 2012, July 28th, 2013. Somebody could be being evaluated for something. Student evaluations and surveys. Something about UPS. You could work there, something could happen. Communities needed to support their communities more, working together more. Something about Georgia, Texas, Louisiana, California, and disasters. Again, something about Georgia, Texas, Louisiana, California, and disasters. Something about Egypt. Something about spaceships, aliens, Egypt. People having keys to certain things in Egypt. Being able to get into different pyramids and there's aliens and different things in there. Something about Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi. Assisting with mass care. Something about tweets. Something about disaster, tweets, Twitter, Facebook, social media. Something about disasters with YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, especially in Dallas, Texas. Something's going to happen to a lot of people in Dallas, Texas, pertaining to what they have done on Facebook or any Twitter or YouTube social media sites. They could have did this to you. You could have did this to someone. You could be recognized for what these people have done to you. Something about the United States. There's going to be some type of disaster. You better be ready, it says. Be ready to move quickly, efficiently for disasters that could be coming in the future. There's a lot of people in need of food. In many communities worldwide, there could be a lot of flooding, a lot of storms, hurricanes coming. Something about 2011. This could happen in 45 states. A lot of bad weather and all type of catastrophes in at least 45 states. It's a lot of mental health issues going on in this country. Make sure that you're always prepared for disasters. Make sure you have the warehouses stocked for any type of disasters that could come. Make sure your call centers are prepared for all disasters. Make sure you're paying attention to computer systems. Vehicles are always ready. Something about benefits, resources, and public relations. Something about employment engagements, contributions. Somebody's name could be Roger. Something about October 1st. Somebody's name could be Jerry D. Francisco. Somebody could be from San Francisco, California. Somebody could live on Francisco Street or Avenue. Somebody's name could be Roger Henry LaGracia. Somebody could be from Dallas, Texas. Somebody's name could be Randall, Jessica, Dooney. I know a Dooney from the Unknowns in Bucktown. Something about the color purple. And that's all I got. I'm in pain now. So somebody could be an Aquarius or Pisces in January. Your birthday could be on the 1st. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, share the video, share the live. Anything you need from me, you need to email me at my email address. That is the only place you could contact me. Thank you for your time.